Good morning, guys. It is Friday, April 24th. Happy Friday. We are on lesson 25.3, and in your hard books, we are on page 548. Today is the objective would be divide two-digit numbers and check the quotients using multiplication. We've talked about how to check your answers, but now we're actually going to use it. Our little problem here says Mina scored 78 points in all during 3 basketball games. If she scored the same number of points in each game, how many points did she score in her first game? So they set up the little division problem and they put a circle where the quotient should be. So example 1, let me move this guy real quick. Our example 1 says divide 7 into 3 groups. There are 2 10s in each group and there is 1 10 left over. So they did the first step of dividing 3 into 7, and they know 3 will go into 7 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. They subtracted and they've got 1. So now they got to regroup their 10 ones plus the 8 ones, and that's 18. So they brought down the 8 and they've got 18. So now they need to look at how many times 3 can be divided into 18. So it says divide 18 ones into 3 groups. There are 6 in each because 6 times 3 is 18, and they got 0. This is how you check your answers to make sure it's correct. You multiply the quotient times the divisor, and 26 times 3 is 78, which is what the dividend is. And it says Mina scored 26 points in her first game, which was the answer. So that's how you check your answers. I showed you this the other day, even including how to put the remainder back in. You add the remainder back in if you have one. This one didn't have a remainder. So this is a number rock video just on how to divide longer numbers. It's not about checking your work, it's just about dividing and having with remainders. It's a cute little video. Just thought it was a cute video on this trying to remember the steps on how to divide. Again, you still have your little McDonald's saying, does McDonald's sell raw cheeseburgers? Divide, multiply, subtract, we check, bring down, and repeat. So go ahead and let's look at your homework page for today. Look like this. We're going to look at the example problems up here that they have. It says divide 2-digit numbers. It's what we've been doing. So if you're going to divide separating using the base 10 blocks, you have 35 divided by 3. They have 10, 20, 30 plus the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they divided the 35 into 3 equal groups. That's why he has the 3 rectangular boxes. So 3 can go into 3 one time. And 1 times 3 is 3. Which is 0. Next step would be to bring down the 5. And you see how many times 3 can be divided into 5, which again is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. And then you'd have your remainder of 2. So 35 divided by 3 is 11 with a remainder of 2. So let's go ahead and look at some of the problems. For the first one, you have 5 divided by 59. We'll go ahead and do that problem together. This is on your homework sheet, page 233 and 234 you have to do today. So we're going to go ahead and do a problem together. So we'll look at the first one. We need to first, I'm going to put a little McDonald's sign right here. Okay. First step that we have is to divide. So 5 divided into 5 will go 1 time. Next step will be to multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. Next we're going to subtract. 5 minus 5 is 0. And then you're going to check, can 5 go into 0? No, it can't. So you need to go ahead and bring down your 9. How many times can, then your next step would be to repeat or see if you have a remainder. Well, I can still divide 5 into 9, so that's how I know I'm going to repeat. So 5 goes into 9 one time, and 1 times 5 is 5. And you're going to subtract that next step. 9 minus 5 would be 4. So your remainder, you can't bring anything else down. So since you can't bring anything else down, you'd have your remainder of 4. So 11 with a remainder of 4 is your first answer. These problems right here, you'll have to flip them. You can write them on a piece of scratch paper. If you can fit them in between the problems, you can go ahead and write them in between the problems. So we'll go ahead and do this one together. Make sure you turn the problems around when you have these side division problems. And 6 gets divided into 6 one time. And 1 times 6 is 6. And we're going to go ahead and subtract as our next step. And we still have a number right here. That's our checking. We still have a number, so we need to bring down this next number. And now we need to say 6 divided into 6 goes one time because you're repeating the whole step over. 1 times 6 is 6. You're subtracting that. You have no remainder here, so your answer would just be 11. All right, guys, hopefully by now, having to do this the last few days, it seems a little bit easier for you now. If you still have questions, always feel free to email your teachers. Take a picture of this assignment when you're done. Today you have IXL for 20 minutes on section I.5. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Happy Friday. Praying for you all that you have a great weekend. Bye, guys.